You know what this is? Canny. Love canny. You know what canny and coffee have in common? They both start with K. No, they don't. Na 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 na. Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Life with Juan. It's me, Juan, and my hair makes me look like Ash Ketchum. Without the cap, the Pokeballs, and the Pikachu. Oh well, this is gonna be the first of a two-part series showing you how I've been studying for the Philippine boards. But before I go into that, recently the Philippine Regulatory Commission has issued a memo saying that the board takers who will be taking the boards this September are gonna be needing face shields in addition to face masks. I'm taking the boards in November. I'm already expecting though that they're going to be giving us a similar memo. And that's why I got one of these. I bought this face shield from one of my friends. I linked their post below. Check it out. These seem to be very good. This video is not sponsored, by the way. I bought this with me own money. This is 2mm thick acrylic, very durable, and very easy to clean. And it covers the whole face, and it's also adjustable. Let's put those words to the test, shall we? And let's start with our unwrapping. Hold it like a pencil. See, I sanitized this with alcohol and I left it to dry for one day before this video. How many Juans does it take to open a package? I don't know. Anyway, this over here is the said face shield. It's 2mm thick, made of acrylic. Let's try it on. Wow, the thing is pretty comfortable. Now, I'm like hitting it. Probably good against like rain and stuff. It's pretty cool. And look what I can do. I am Fuzz Lightbeard. I come in peace. How dare you open a spaceman's helmet on an uncharted planet? My eyeballs could have been sucked from their sockets. So yeah, this is the little acrylic face shield that I bought from my friend. I mean, there are so many others out there, and I'm not saying that this is better than any of the others. I just wanted to support my friend. So if you're interested, her contact details and her Facebook post are posted below. Better get one of these and stay safe. Then again, if you're from the States or somewhere else, you probably might not be able to buy from her. Either way, it would help to get an acrylic face shield because, you know, you can't get too much protection nowadays, right? With this evil virus floating around. But, you know, I'm indoors and I don't need to wear a face shield because I'm like the only one living in my condo. It's just me studying for the boards. And for me to study for the boards, I need to keep track of my progress. And that brings me to this part of the video. Lately, I've been using Notion for my studying. Notion is a great app. It's great for organizing, great for scheduling, and it's great for keeping track of your progress. And I thought I'd show you how I use it for my study. This is the template for the study tracker. I'm going to be listing the URL for this in the description. This is going to be a two-part video. The first one on the left, actually I better put a little label here. The one on the left is for reading and studying. The one on the right is more for exams, for taking exams, so examination. Notion is nice because it allows you to modify formatting very easily. So this one over here, for example, I can easily drag it here. This one I can drag it here. And then I can change the format of each block, that's what you call it. I can change the format of each block. So if I want to make it like brown background, this one, I'll make it a green background. Great. And then I can change that into a header. So I'll change this into heading 2. This one too, I'll change it into a heading 2. Great. And so like you can easily arrange things into columns, into blocks. Like this one actually, it would start like this. But then you can simply like drag it over there. Do a little adjustments, and you have 2 columns, just like that. For this one is divided into 4 parts. I have the topic tracker, reading progress, the subject database, and the bibliography. Let's go through each of that one by one. So over here, I have the topic tracker. It's the default view. Okay, great. It's divided into 2 views, the default view and reading today. The default view, it allows you to see everything. Whereas if I switch to reading today, then it allows me to see just what I'm reading for today. So obviously I haven't started reading anything today. There's a filter here that says date is today, and that's why reading today. If I want to add a new entry, boom, add a new entry, and it creates a new entry, and the date on reading today is automatically today. Then I can put anything here. Say the citric acid cycle. So citric acid cycle. Oh, there we go. Citric acid cycle. Then it's divided into 2 views. I have the reading today and the default view. Default view allows you to see everything, all the topics that you're covering so far. Default view allows you to see all the topics that you're reading so far. And reading today is simply put all the topics that I read today. And this is how I like to study. So on the reading today view, I just click new, then it'll instantly create a new entry over here. So that means that earlier on today, I read the citric acid cycle, and then maybe next I'd be reading something about gluconeogenesis, right? And then I'd write something here, for example, here in the notes. The next column over here is notes. And I would write, for example, pyruvate carboxylates. Then project ideas is stuff that I could make as an application. You know, like for planning for active learning. Because I'm the kind of guy who doesn't just like reading. I like making creative outputs out of what I read. So sometimes you'll see videos of me talking about what I studied. So a project idea would be, say, drawing. Then I'd make a drawing about gluconeogenesis. So now with each entry, I could do something like that. And then for a subject, I put this under biochemistry. The subject column over here is it's a relation. That means it's linked to another page on this template, and I'll go into that later on. For the subject column, I would put something like biochemistry. That's already pre-programmed into the subject column. Put that there. And likewise. And so on. So that's how the topic tracker works. Next, let's go back to the topic track, the main template. Let's go into reading progress. This one is nice. This is divided into 3 views: the dashboard, reading, and all columns. Currently, I'm in the all columns view. This will automatically allow you to see all the columns and modify it as you wish. Let's go to the dashboard first. The dashboard allows you to see a summary of what you've been reading. And over here, I have this nice little graphic that updates based on your progress. Okay? So, what does this mean? 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. This means that I haven't read anything out of like what I have to read. And I would modify this by going into the reading. But first, we have several columns over here. Page count over here is the number of pages that material has. So my microbiology readings are 80 pages long, my pedia readings are 89 pages long, physiology, legal med, anatomy, and this one over here is the number of pages remaining. Okay, this one is an equation, and it's gonna calculate how many pages are left based on how many pages I have read. This one over here is my target rate. So it's an equation that's going to calculate for how many pages I should be reading per day. Ideal rate is the number of pages that I would have been reading per day if I had started exactly on day one at a consistent rate. And then over here, it's all zeros, the number of pages you would have read. You've already read. The number of pages that you've already read. Then over here, expected number of pages. What? Expected progress. The expected progress is how many pages I would have read by today had I started reading on day one. And then over here is negative impact, impact of deficit. It means if I read at the pace that I am reading today, or I have been reading, then this is my deficit by the end of my scheduled period if I continue reading at today's target rate. Okay? That's a lot. Let's go into reading so you'll be able to understand more about that. Okay? So again, we have date started, page count, pages, 7 pages per day. Okay, now let's go into current pages, current progress. So let's say for microbiology, I have read 40 pages. Let's write that here. That's going to change the graphic. It's going to say that 50% of my 80 pages has been read, or 40 pages has been read. And my current progress is at 50%, right? Time elapsed, 41%. That's how far I am into my reading period. And then let's go back to the dashboard. We'll see that I have a negative deficit. That means that if I keep reading at this rate, by the end of my reading period, I will have 57 pages to spare. Okay, next, let's go into the reading again. And let's say for pediatrics, by today, I have read 9 pages. So I have a little, I have a little picture here that shows that approximately 9 out of 89 pages have been read, or that's 10.11%, right? So, however, in this graphic, I have 3. There's a backpack, there's a kids crossing, and there are, the image is zombies, but I think that looks very close to a kid who is jaundiced. So that's what I mean. As sick kids. What does that mean? Let's go into all columns. You can actually modify the graphics. There's a good graphic, there's a neutral graphic, and there's a bad graphic. The bad graphic represents your deficit by the end of the period if you don't read enough pages. This is neutral, meaning you haven't read anything. And then this is progress. So this is how much progress you would have had. And you can modify that here. So say I want to replace this with a smiley face, I can do so over here. But that's boring. I like it customized. Okay? Great. That's essentially how I monitor my reading progress. Now we can go into the subject database. Now here, I have a list of all the subjects. And so These are all the subjects that I'd like to read. Anatomy, biochemistry, genetics, microbiology. Then these are grouped into basic sciences, systems, clinical sciences, and then over here is the foundational subjects column. Those are the subjects that a certain subject is based on. So say here, genetics is based on biochemistry. Microbiology is based on biochemistry and physiology, and so on. Then over here, associated subjects. So anatomy, associated subjects would be cardiovascular, dermatology, endocrinology, right? And then over here are the exam items that are based on that subject. We will actually go into that later on in part 2 of my video, alright? That's the review. Right. Then finally, let's go into bibliography. Bibliography is essentially all the books that you're reading for your current subject. So I have it's for cited sources, it's for easy reference. Then all my books are here. The authors, mention the authors. Authors is over here. So for example, Empatoma, that's written by Sitar. World Review Series Chemistry is written by Lieberman. First Aid is written by Tao Le, right? Then published by these guys, so Empatoma, Walter Kluwer, McGraw-Hill in the year 2020, 2015, 2018. And then reference, say it's an internet reference like IMCI, written by World Health Organization. The internet reference would be listed here, this column, right? There's also a gallery view. Cool, right? And that's essentially how I use Notion to keep track of what I read. Whew! That was a mouthful. I'm going to be sharing the template for this Notion page, and the link to the template is listed in the description box below. I really recommend Notion, guys. It's a really great productivity app. This video is not sponsored. I just really like Notion. So if you like it, the link is also listed below. And that is part 1 of my 2-part video series on how I use Notion for my studying. So what do you guys think? Did you like this video? Did you not like this video? Did you not like this video? Let me know in the comments below. This has been Life with Juan. Take care of yourselves, eat well, sleep well, eat healthy, and exercise. And most importantly, remember to live life to the fullest, because you only have one life to live. Na 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 na.